Okay, guys, let's do 41 to 50 now. So, 41, as an indicator of an impending recession, inventories will most likely do what? So, uh, basically, as an indicator of an impending recession. So, basically, the recession is probably going to happen. Okay, so if there's going to be a recession, what do people do? Do they buy more stuff or are they going to buy less stuff? So, because it's a recession, people are going to buy less stuff. Now, if you're buying less stuff from your businesses, okay, what happened to their inventories? Inventories will go up because think about it this way. The businesses made 500 t-shirts, okay? But because of the recession, you're like, oh, I'm not going to buy anything. So, do they sell the 500 t-shirts? No. Can they sell them next year? Probably. So their inventories, right? They put them in their closet and they sell them next year. So their inventories go up. So as an indicator of an impending recession, because you're going to be decreasing your consumption, your inventories will increase. 42. Which of the following will most likely benefit from unexpected deflation? So deflation means that inflation goes down. All right. Deflation is the opposite of inflation. So if you're having less inflation, who wins? Well, the way I really like to answer these questions, especially because we're dealing with lenders and borrowers, is I create a scenario where my nominal equals my real plus my inflation. Okay, so the thing with these is that you're estimating the inflation, right? Because it's unexpected deflation here, right? So you're estimating the inflation. Let's say the lender wants 3% interest and expects 5% inflation. Okay, so his nominal would be real plus the inflation, so that would be a nominal of 8%. But what if it's unexpected deflation? Is the inflation 5%? No, it's actually going to be, let's say, 3%. So the actual inflation is 3%. So how much should the interest rate be? If we do real, which is 3%, plus the actual inflation, which is 3%, that means the nominal should be 6%. But what is the lender getting? He's getting 8. He should be getting 6. So the lender is winning. So the lender is benefiting. 42 is A. Another way I like to remember this is borrowers always win with inflation. All right. And so the opposite of that would be lenders win with deflation. 43. An economy is at full employment equilibrium if consumers and firms become more optimistic about future income and profits, which are the following will most likely will occur in the short run. So you're optimistic about your income and your profits. So you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get more income in the future. Okay, if you're thinking you're gonna get more income, do you buy more stuff or less stuff? Well, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have more money. I'm gonna buy more. So aggregate demand will go up because you're thinking you're gonna buy more stuff. Now, what would happen to the output? It would go up and price level would go up. The only one that says that is C. Because you think that you're going to have more income, you're going to buy more stuff today. 44. The demand curve for money shifts to the right when blank. So the demand curve for money means how much money you want in your hand. Okay, so the money in your hand. So which one of these basically says I want more money in my hand? Okay, because it shifts to the right. The nominal interest rate decreases. Well, if the nominal interest rate decreases, that would change your quantity of money, not your demand for money. The nominal GDP increases. Nominal GDP increases, it could mean price level goes up, or it could mean output goes up. So if you're buying more stuff, you need more money. If your prices go up, do you need more money to buy things? Yes. So you need more money to buy things. That means demanding more money because of the price level increases. Real GDP decreases. Well, that would mean that you're making less stuff. So you're actually buying less stuff. You need less money. Inflation decreases. You need less money for these things to buy. So you need less demand. Velocity money increases. So this means you're spending more money. You don't need more money to buy things. It's just you're buying things faster. It does not change your demand. It just means you're buying things faster. 45. An increase in both inflation rate and the unemployment can be illustrated by what? So since we're dealing with inflation and unemployment, that would be the short run Phillips curve. So we want more inflation and more unemployment. Okay, so we want to be at this green dot here. The only way we can get to the green dot is by shifting the Phillips curve to the right. It's not going to be a movement because a movement would be from here to here. A leftward shift would take us over here. Right shift in the aggregate demand. No, right? Because a rightward shift in demand would actually be a movement on the Phillips curve. So that's not going to be it. 46. Assume country X has the following international transactions in billions of dollars during a given period of time. What is the balance of the current account in billions of dollars for the period? So remember, the current account is your exports and your imports. It is not calculating the capital account, which capital account is looking at what your assets are. So these two are actually in your capital account. And that would mean that these two are your current account. So we're going to do exports minus imports. So that would be 400 minus 300, or 330. Sorry, my bad. Minus 330. So that would be 70. So 46 is D. 47. In the short run, tight monetary policy tends to cause, well, if monetary policy is tight, that means money supply is down. If your money supply is down, what happens to the interest rate? Interest rate has to go up. If you don't believe me, the graph will prove that the interest rate will go up because if we have less money supply, interest rates will go up. Now, what happens to investment? Obviously, higher interest rate, less investment. 47 is E. 48. If the required reserve ratio is 10%, what is the maximum change in the money supply of John's deposit of $50,000 into his checking account? So if he puts $50,000 in, right, the bank has it, they can make loans with it, and then when they make loans, it turns into the multiplier effect. Now, when we're dealing with the money, we're dealing with the money multiplier, which is going to be 1 divided by RRR, which is the required reserve ratio, and that's 10%. So that would be 1 divided by 0.1. You do not do 1 divided by 10 because we're not doing 1 divided by 10, we're doing 1 divided by 10%. And percent as a number is 0.1. So your multiplier in this case is 10. So that would mean if you put $50,000 in, it's going to multiply um, by 10. Okay, but where did he get this cash from? He got this cash from the money supply, right? He got it from the circular flow. So when he puts the $50,000 that was already in the money supply, okay, so that's not going to increase the money supply 50,000 because it's already in the money supply. So therefore, with the 50,000, We're going to multiply it by 10. So the total is 500,000. But how much did the change in the money supply happen? Well, he took the 50 from the circular flow and that turned into 500,000. So that's an extra 450. Okay. He took 50,000 from the money supply and then put in the bank. And the bank increased that to $500,000. So how much did the money supply change? He took the 50 and it turned into 450. So that is a change of 400, and it changed. I'm sorry. He took $50,000 and that changed to $500,000. So that was a change of 450,000. 49, a recession can be caused by what? So remember, a recession is a decrease in the output for 2 quarters. So which one of these would be a decrease in the output? Is it a decrease in, is it an increase in prices? No. Increase in exports? No. A decrease in interest rates? No, because that's going to be more investment. A decrease in aggregate demand? Oh, that would do it. A decrease in the wages? So a decrease in the wages, maybe, but more specifically, it's going to be the decrease in the aggregate demand. Okay. Because here's the deal. If we decrease the wages, right, you're like, oh, well, aggregate demand would go down. But if wages are down, do people are labor cheaper? Labor's cheap, so supply would hire more people, and then that would increase output. So that's why it's not E, because a decrease in wages means you can hire more people. 50. An increase in the number of discouraged workers causes the unemployment rate to. All right. So if you have more people that are discouraged, like like basically they are. I'm trying to find a way to explain this. A discouraged worker is somebody who is applying for a job, right? And then they're just tired, so they're just discouraged. So if there's more people that are discouraged workers, this causes the unemployment rate to decrease, meaning that they are applying for a job, but then they're tired. And if they're tired for applying for a job, they stop applying. And if you stop applying, then you are out of the labor force. And if you're out of the labor force, that decreases the unemployment because the labor force participation rate went down. So 50 is A. So because you're a discouraged worker, this means that you are applying, but then you become discouraged. So you stop applying. And because you stop applying for a job, this means you're out of the labor force. If you're out of the labor force, this means you're decreasing the unemployment and you're decreasing the labor force participation. All right, so now that is all for 41 to 50. We will be finishing up the last bit of the multiple choice part in the next video. I will see you there. Have a good one.